Ian, it's obviously 4 or 5 days since St Mirren Park and the disappointment that came of that. What's the mood been like in the camp since that day?
I think it's been quite lively in the respect of we now know what we've got ahead of us and what we've got to do. Again, I haven't had any reason to have a go at the players about the way they apply themselves in training, and we have to take this game on Saturday, Partick Thistle, and I want to do well in it as well. It's not a dead rubber in my eyes, as it's been described, before we then move on to the 2 playoff games.
You talk about that, and it's obviously, I suppose it's important to get into any game with momentum, so I would imagine that will be the key for you to try and get a victory, try and come out of it unscathed, I suppose, and then go into the playoff final with as much good spirit as possible.
Yeah, and it'll give 1 or 2 players a chance to stake a claim as well. 1 or 2 players that have felt as though they should be in the side and knocked on my door, and we've made some changes, and it's a real chance for them. So I'm looking for a good performance, one full of energy, one that we take the game to our opponents and force the issue and make sure that I've got 1 or 2 questions going into the Thursday and the Sunday.
Obviously, one player that will be available, I've not really had too much of a chance to talk about it since, is Scott McDonald. You and I spoke after St Mirren Park, and you were raging, I suppose it's a good Scottish word to describe how you were feeling after it. You then obviously, I would imagine, be pleased that the judicial panel at Hampden during the week have cleared Scott of any wrongdoing.
I think sense has prevailed, and I was pleased to hear that the referee and the officials who officiated on the day looked at it and felt as though they probably got the wrong call. It got downgraded to a yellow card, which is obviously more beneficial for us. I just felt on the day at the time that there was absolutely no malice in trying to hurt anybody. In fact, for a striker to put his arm out is nothing out of the ordinary, and I don't even think he's caught him. So it's been dealt with. I think it's been dealt with in the right way, and we've got to what I believe is the correct decision.
Is that a boost for you and the whole squad ahead of these games that are coming up? Because Scott's been a big player in terms of not just him, but what he's also brought out in other people as well.
I think to have as many players available is a boost, and to be missing one of your most experienced players. And since he's come in, I think he's brought us something different. I think he's obviously scored some critical goals, and to be going into the playoffs without Scott would have been a blow to us. So I think it's a boost for everybody. Yeah.
What are you expecting from Partick Thistle tomorrow? Because they've been in a great run of form. They've been terrific over the last couple of weeks, but a bit of a surprising result last week. I think that took everybody by surprise. The Kilmarnock won there and won so convincingly. So what are you expecting from Alan Archibald's side?
Well, I hope they've not shut up shop and packed up for the summer, because I want it to be a competitive game. I don't want it to be a typical end of season game with theoretically nothing on it for either side. I think there's a lot out there for both sets of players to be playing for, and none more so than personal pride and playing for your football club. No fan wants to turn up for a competitive game and watch their team just go through the motions. So for that sake, I hope that they come here with a real vigour to try and win the game, and so it's a good test for our team.
Is it difficult for you and everybody else to concentrate on the game because of what the big games that are coming up, or has that been your task this week, to focus your minds first and foremost on what's happening here tomorrow?
No, we've gone and done some work on either Rangers or Hibs as a group earlier on in the week, but today, Friday, has been a normal game preparation day for the team that's going to go and play and the squad that's going to be involved tomorrow. So that's not been any different, but certainly the early part of this week there was some work on the prospective opposition that we may face.
Ian, thanks.